Nervous at all for you, Mike?
No, they're nervous for your brother. I think I'm too old for this fight. You need to come tell me in my face.
Mike Tyson just dropped a bombshell and left jaws on the floor, especially Jake Paul's. You know, the guy who's been running his mouth nonstop, even going as far as mocking Tyson's health issues? Yeah, not the smartest move. Well, iron. Mike just reminded the world why that name still carries weight. And Jake? He got a front row seat to a harsh reality check. Here's a life lesson for Jake. When a legend with more experience, more skill, and even more years stays quiet, it's not because he's scared. It's because he doesn't need to waste breath on nonsense. But keep poking the bear, and eventually, the bear responds. Jake strutted into the August 18th press conference like he owned the building, riding high off his win against Mike Perry. Full of swagger, he threw out lines like, "I'm not scared. I was born for this moment," like he was some kind of boxing messiah. But Tyson? He didn't flinch, didn't blink. He just let Jake's ego echo in the room, waiting for the right moment to respond. And when he did, it wasn't with fists, it was psychological warfare. Tyson, a master of mind games long before the opening bell, zeroed in on Jake's weak spot, his fitness. With just a calm, cutting remark, he shattered Jake's overconfidence. Be in good shape, because your health depends on it. Oof. That wasn't just a dig. It was a direct hit to Jake's ego. The energy in the room shifted. Everyone felt it. No yelling, no theatrics, just Tyson reminding everyone that even at his calmest, he's the most dangerous man in the room. And Jake? For the first time in a while, he looked like the one unsure of what happens next.
Fight on the biggest stage possible. It's destiny. And now here we are, years later, actually making it happen. I was made for this moment, born to do this, and I'm going to put on the performance of a lifetime on November 15th, and the universe will align for all of its glory and good for God.
But this wasn't some loud, in-your-face trash talk. Nope. Tyson delivered the blow in the calmest, most casual way possible. He dropped a subtle line about Jake's fitness, or let's be real, lack of it, and didn't even raise his voice. Just cool, composed truth. Jake Paul is known for his big mouth, sure, but this time the buzz isn't about his usual antics. It's about his gut. Yeah, people have noticed. Jake's been looking a little puffier lately, and the whispers have turned into full-blown chatter. While Jake's been out living it up, partying, posting, acting untouchable, fans and critics alike have been raising eyebrows. The question on everyone's mind, does this guy even remember what a gym looks like? Because from the looks of it, the only thing Jake's been training lately is his appetite.
Jake! Hey, Jake. How are you?
That one calm comment from Tyson? It was all the proof anyone needed. He'd hit a nerve. The cracks in Jake Paul's armor started to show instantly. The guy who had walked in with all swagger and no fear suddenly looked shaken, scrambling to keep his composure. This wasn't just harmless back and forth anymore. Tyson had exposed something Jake had been trying hard to keep hidden. In high-stakes boxing, psychological warfare is just as important as the punches thrown. And Tyson? He's a master of it. He didn't rise to Jake's level of hype or trash talk. He stayed cool, almost too cool, giving Jake this knowing look. Like, I've seen 1,000 guys like you. They all fold. Let's be real. Tyson's comment about Jake's fitness wasn't a throwaway jab. It was a calculated strike straight to Jake's ego. And it worked. Jake tried to laugh it off, tried to act unfazed, but his quick, uneasy response gave him away. He was rattled. And when your confidence is as shaky as your conditioning, that's a problem. You could feel the shift in the room. People started laughing, but it wasn't just because the line was funny. It was that uneasy chuckle of, wait, is Jake actually ready for this? Swagger only gets you so far. If you're gassed by round 3, the bravado means nothing. Tyson's been in this game too long to be fooled. He knows how to break an opponent mentally before the bell even rings. And by the end of that press conference, it was obvious. Tyson had won the first round in the war of minds. The media exploded. Headlines practically wrote themselves. Jake Paul's confidence cracked, and Tyson didn't even raise a fist. The bigger issue? Jake's weight. It's the red flag nobody can ignore anymore. Tyson pointed it out, and now Jake is racing to prove he's not just full of talk, but the damage is already done. Tyson didn't just plant doubt in Jake, He planted it in everyone watching. And when the public starts doubting you before the fight, you're already halfway defeated. Now, the question isn't whether Jake can win, it's whether he can even last without running out of gas. This press conference wasn't just about hyping the fight. It was Tyson playing chess, and Jake? He's at least 3 moves behind. As fight night creeps closer, Jake won't just be sweating in the gym. He'll be sweating over every word Tyson dropped. Every time he glances in the mirror, every time he steps on the scale, those doubts will echo louder. And that's exactly what Tyson wants. He knows if Jake walks into that ring already second-guessing himself, he's halfway beaten. Jake's overconfidence seems built on one recent win over Mike Perry, as if that made him untouchable. But beating Perry and facing Tyson, those are 2 entirely different universes. Tyson isn't just strong, he's dangerous in every sense. Physical, mental, tactical. And deep down, Jake knows that. That's why his bravado felt so forced. Like, he was putting on a show, hoping no one would see through it. But just when you thought Jake couldn't dig the hole any deeper, he throws out one more jab, mocking Tyson's health. You had to go on your little menopause break. Your tummy still hurt? Really? That's the move? Taunting a living legend about needing to postpone a fight for medical reasons? Classic Jake Paul, loud, brash, and missing the point entirely. If this was meant to psych Tyson out, it backfired. Because Tyson doesn't play that game. He ends it.
I didn't bring him to do shit. I'm here to make $40 million and knock out a legend.
Jake Paul's entire brand has been built on playing the cocky underdog, the loudmouth who somehow pulls off wins against opponents who talked big but couldn't deliver. But this time, it's a whole different game. The stakes are higher, and Mike Tyson isn't just another name on the card. He's a psychological assassin who breaks you mentally before the first punch ever lands. Tyson wasn't just questioning Jake's skills. He was targeting his mental toughness, his ability to withstand pressure when the spotlight's blinding and the crowd's roaring. When you're stepping into the ring with a legend, you're physical. Condition isn't just important, it's everything. Boxing isn't about talking tough. It's about surviving when your lungs are burning, your legs feel like concrete, and your brain is begging you to quit. And let's not sugarcoat it. Tyson, even in his 50s, is still a monster. If Jake isn't in peak shape, that will be the deal breaker. Because here's the truth. When the punches start landing and the adrenaline fades, your conditioning is your only ally. If Jake's not ready physically, Tyson's going to sense it, and he's going to punish it. He's no rookie. He's a predator. He knows how to sniff out weakness, and if Jake's stamina falters, that becomes a flashing red target. But just when you think Jake couldn't get any more arrogant, he doubles down, shouting, "I'm knocking this Tri-Scout out. We'll see who's dead, Mike. We'll see who's dead." Bold words for a guy who's never stood toe-to-toe with a true legend. But hey, that's Jake Paul. Never short on bravado, even when he's in way over his head.
For real, on a real record. You're going to see on BoxRec, Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. Jake Paul KOs Mike Tyson. I'm not here to do shit besides make a bag.
In the lead up to this fight, Jake Paul's been doing his best to keep up his signature bravado, but the way he immediately jumped to defend his conditioning, that said it all. Even he knows it's a weak spot. This fight isn't just about who hits harder, it's about who can endure, who has the stamina to push through when the body's screaming, the lungs are burning, and the pressure is suffocating. Tyson's comment wasn't random. It was a surgical strike aimed straight at Jake's confidence. And if Jake isn't in peak form, he's in for a brutal wake-up call when that first bell rings. As fight night approaches, the spotlight is squarely on Jake's conditioning. Can he rise to the occasion? Or will his lack of preparation be the very thing that brings him down? Tyson's words have already started chipping away at Jake's mental armor, and that could be the deciding factor. Because in boxing, like in life, it's not about how loud you start. It's about how strong you finish. And if Jake isn't dialed in both physically and mentally, he's about to get a painful lesson from one of the greatest fighters who's ever lived. Make no mistake, Tyson's words weren't friendly advice. They were a warning, clear and deliberate. And if you know anything about Iron Mike, you know he doesn't dish out warnings lightly. November 15th isn't just another date on the calendar. It's a ticking time bomb, and Tyson's making sure Jake hears every second of it. The world is watching, the pressure is mounting, and the stakes couldn't be higher. For Jake, it's about proving he belongs in this sport. For Tyson, it's about protecting a legacy built on dominance. The countdown has begun, and whatever happens in that ring, the fallout will be felt long after the final bell. So the question is, can Jake Paul hang with Mike Tyson? Or is he going to crumble under the pressure? Because here's the truth. You can't Instagram your way through a real fight. No amount of flashy posts or cocky one-liners is going to save you when you're face-to-face with a legend. And if Jake doesn't get it together fast, that face-to-face moment might be short-lived. Don't miss a second of this epic showdown. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You'll want front row seats when it all goes down.
At the end of the day, people are always going to have something to say. It's because of who I am. It's because I proved everyone wrong. Reminder, the most hated and most criticized boxer in the sport of boxing before they loved him was Muhammad Ali.
Don't forget to like the channel, subscribe, and press the bell icon to stay updated with all the latest content.